Oh, I've forgotten my drink. I'll be right back. Did you like that? Did you like how I started the video with a great big sigh? I'm really tired. I'm really tired. I'll be honest with you. I don't appreciate this season. I think it's really hard. Is what I think. This end of, I already don't like winter, and by the end of winter, at this time around the end of February, it's just there's just nothing left. At least we have the light, right? But I wanted to sort of touch on something. Yeah, as I said, I'm really tired. Lost my train of thought. I lost it. I did that video a few weeks ago where I sort of explained a few things that's been going on with me, mental health-wise. And I thought instead of being silent about what's going on in my life, might as well talk about it, right? Because the alternative is I just don't, you don't hear from me. This is an energy drink. I don't have many energy drinks, but I usually have like one a day. These cancer-inducing sugar-free things here. They're very sweet, too sweet. But I need it. Yeah, so I told you I have ADHD. And ADHD comes in many colors and variants, and as I understand it, it's different for everyone. But there are a few things that we do share, and it's the tendency, it's an attention disorder. So you have a range of problems with that, but then you also have the potentially good sides of it, and that's the hyperfocus bit, the ability to really focus on something if you manage to overcome the mountain of resistance that can sometimes, is always kind of almost always present before getting going and actually doing something. You have to overcome this resistance. So that can be a really good thing when working on something like a creative project. It can be really tough to switch to another project, and I'm actually afraid of doing so. I'm working on something, and I'm trying to switch to working on something else, and I'm telling myself I need to learn how to do it. I need to figure out how to work on multiple things, because my brain is sort of jumping all over the place anyway, so why wouldn't that work? But again, we're all different, right? So maybe it's just me. Now this hyperfocus can also be a problem. I am extremely auditory sensitive. I'm extremely sensitive to sounds, and not just sounds, but like impressions. I feel everything very strongly, and when I'm with other people, I sort of feel what I think they feel, and I take it all in, right? I have no filter in that regard. And now a problem here in the wintertime is that I have mice. I used to have a cat. Not to go all over the place, sorry about that. I used to have a cat, and I was actually going to visit him today, but because he's living with some very nice elderly, well, yeah, I'll say semi-elderly people. And he's now been living there for, just like exactly 2 years, I think, is for how long. Feels longer than that. Feels longer. But it was February of 23 that I had to get rid of him, you know what I mean? So I found a new family for him. Now, which brings me to my next point. I have mice in this house. And I actually have these ultrasonic deterrents. I'll show you one. Just I'll be crawling on the floors now. Oh my God. It's a thing that looks like this. I put a piece of tape over it because I don't want blinking lights in the night. Even in another room, that can cause some problems for me. So this is a deterrent, and it actually does two things. It's an ultrasonic. I believe in the 60, 70 kilohertz range. So far, far above human hearing, which tops out at about 20 kilohertz, you know, just about. I've tested myself for fun recently, and I can hear up to 18,500. That was just a fun thing that I wanted to try and see. Because the older we get, the less of the high frequencies we can actually hear. So I guess I'm not that old yet, even if I'm going to be 40 in 2 years. Now that's one thing it does, and it also transmits electromagnetic signals throughout the wiring of the house. I'm just going to put it back. And those things together work as a deterrent, and then the mice, they can't stand it, so they stay away. At least in theory. Now, they do stay away, it does work. I have 2 of these things, but sometimes, and this is my theory, a sickly, mouse, like maybe it's an older mouse that can't hear as well, I don't know what it is, but then they just sort of insist upon trying to be here anyway. And so they crawl in the walls, and this new building, this new room that I've made, I would say that I'm proud of it, but I'm also not a professional, so the sort of ground level, I have used something you would normally use in plants, which are these brown, we call, I don't know, lecables. I don't know what in English, I don't know. It's like, it's a little, almost like some very, very. So anyway, I have those in the edges of the floor, and that's very good if we have a flood, but it's also very bad for heating. So I have cold air from the floor, and it also is, even though I thought I did a good job, the mice can still get in. So they're getting in there, and they're getting in the rest of the house, which is badly built, full of little holes. And they get in the walls and they gnaw on stuff, and what happens to me basically is, I'll go from being annoyed about this and putting out traps and, to being more and more annoyed, and then I just like, I basically, at the end of winter here, if I hear the slightest sound, that's probably, or could be a mouse, that's it, no more sleep. And no more creative work the next day, no more, anything. I basically feel like I'm broken glass inside. That's the best way I can describe it. Like my insides are just sort of, it just all breaks, like, yeah. So that's fun. I had a psychiatrist describe some of these issues for me, as she said, it more closely resembles PTSD than anxiety. I don't know if that's true. Certainly feels that way. So, yeah. So what actually happened is just like on Friday, today's Wednesday. On Friday, I had an invasion of 2 mice. I know because they were dead the next day. Had an invasion, and even though that was sort of it, and I think there was one day afterwards where I heard something that might have been a mouse, I could not get it out of my mind. I just can't. I can't like exist. So I wish it weren't so, but I think it's also just a case of I'm already very high strung, and so these issues become worse. As I said, I had a cat. Unfortunately, just the mere sounds of his cat flap at night drove me insane, I would say. So, and some other issues as well. So, but you know, he's a very good cat. I found a lovely home for him, and again, I was supposed to visit today. So, yeah, that's part of my life is like this at the moment. You know, we all have problems. I think this will get better. This will definitely get better in time. But as long as I'm sort of in this limbo world, this limbo place of I'm not retired because my case is being worked out and all this. As long as I'm in this place, yeah, I'll have these issues will be quite bad at times. But I do all I can, and I don't sit about doing nothing. I can't even do that. I can't, right? But what I mean is I do a lot. I do, as I said in that other video, I do daily exercises. Even today, I'm super tired. I didn't run yesterday. I did go swimming with a friend. I think I'm gonna run today because I simply have to. And then working on my writing project, my secret writing project. It's secret because, you know what? It's none of your business, okay? Sorry about that. Do you know what? Come with me for a moment and I'll show you a bit of the building and some mouse traps. We'll see if any mice are in there. That's his word. It's recording. Let's go. Foggy. It's foggy today. Yeah, so this is a building. So what it looks like right now. It'll get better. See, I have some mouse traps here. And these campers, they are a story in themselves. And I actually did a lot of work on one of them. Mouse traps. Good God. I'm done with you. I always get a bit shy outside because what if somebody hears me talking to myself, you know? I don't get how people can walk in a city with a camera in their own face, talking to people, talking to themselves, talking to you guys. That I cannot do. You saw the campers anyway. That is a story unto itself. One of them is a guest house, kind of, and a music room. It's weird. I like my stepdad's music collection, CD collection. It's just a bunch of music in there. And the other one, I acquired that. Excuse me. I acquired that last spring. It was free, and once I started working on it, I understood why it was free. And I don't think the people who gave it to me quite understood how free it was, meaning it was very, very water damaged. And that's a whole story. And while I was working on it, during the year, it actually got water damaged again because there were some spots, there's some stuff that I missed. But I did end up finishing it, and it is a YouTube set now. So at some point I will be showing it to you, I think, in one form or another. You want the story behind that? Maybe I'll do that. I don't know. I'm done promising things here, so because then it'll grow in my mind, and it it's going to be it suddenly becomes too big of a task. Yeah, so little video here. Sometimes better to do a video that feels a bit rough. You know, thinking to myself, maybe this isn't really interesting, but this is my life, so you know, there you go. So I guess I will see you in the next one.